Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Confession. Story 1. Idiotically shoplifted by switching out product instead of the correct way. Yesterday evening, I went to a grocery chain store to purchase some chewable allergy meds. Once I got home, I realized I grabbed the wrong flavor. The reason doesn't matter. With the meds and receipt in hand, I went back to the store to exchange, but because it was late in the evening, the customer service counter was closed and only self-checkout was available. I know I should have found someone to do the exchange, but I ended up just putting back the one I bought and grabbed the one I wanted and walked out the store. I feel like an idiot and am afraid of being branded as a shoplifter. Edit. No price difference. Cost exactly the same. Story 2. I put the cheapest kg price on the most expensive veggies in the store. I really don't regret it and I do it every time. Story 3. I pretended to have a dead friend to comfort someone. Long story short, in freshman year of high school, my best friend's boyfriend was hit by a car and almost died. I was trying to comfort my friend by sharing a made-up story of how my old best friend was killed by a drunk driver. This never happened, but at least my friend thought she had someone who went through something similar to vent to. Story 4. I've been hiding in the kitchen for the past 30 minutes. I live with a hyper dog. Someone had her for a walk and dropped her off. I've been hiding in the kitchen, keeping silent, trying to get the energy and enthusiasm to say hello. I feel bad because she is cute and she does need attention, but my energy levels are way below this. Story 5. I stole an electronic in first grade and I never got caught. But back when I was younger I used to steal a lot. I stopped, but the worst thing I've ever stolen was a weird leapfrog thing. I forgot exactly what it was, but they took game cartridges like Game Boys do. I remember it was the end of the day and we were waiting to get released to wait for the buses, and I seen it and the teacher was busy, so I picked out my favorite game and grabbed the only different one and put it in my bag and I took it home. My mother did ask where I got it from. I told her a friend gave it to me and she just believed me. I still have it till this day and it still works and I've never said anything. Story 6. I'm trying to get my manager's dental license revoked from her. I, 18F, am a dental nurse and my bosses, 40F, and 45F, are extremely hurtful and toxic. I constantly get berated in front of patients, often leading me to be in tears in front of them. I do so much for this company, such as making 56 cupcakes out of my own money for an open day, on my weekend. I can normally handle that, however today I snapped. I had to take an important phone call regarding help for my mental health and I got shouted and belittled after taking it. This led to me hysterically breaking down and non-stop sobbing for 30 minutes. I have been wanting to leave this workplace for a while, but I don't have the guts or confidence to do it. I'm regretting choosing dentistry as my career. If I do leave, I will be anonymously reporting them to the General Dental Council and possibly getting their license revoked. Am I in the wrong? Story 7. I take pictures with my phone of hot women wearing leggings. I started to do this about a year ago. Whenever I see a sexy lady wearing leggings, I always take a picture of their ass. I never take a picture of their face, just the ass. If I see a panty line it drives me crazy. I then use the pictures when I masturbate. If you guys have never tried this, I suggest you give it a try. Story 8. In 6th grade I hacked my school's BrainPop account and used it for years. My middle school leaned heavily on BrainPop, a website with educational cartoons for kids, to be a fun learning tool for our curriculums. All of my teachers used BrainPop, and usually introduced new subjects, like cells, or algebra, with a BrainPop video. 6th grade was a hard year for me. My parents had lost their house, and it would take a few years before we had the funds to live on our own. My great-grandparents took us in, but we still didn't have any money to spare for luxuries like Netflix subscriptions or movie rentals. When I tried to use BrainPop at home for the first time, I was crushed to find it hidden behind a paywall. I knew damn well that the only BrainPop videos I would see would be at school. I would never be able to choose a BrainPop video to watch. I'd only ever see what my teachers chose to show us. One day in computer lab, our teacher was going around the room manually logging us into BrainPop to watch a specific video. She told us all the school username to enter, and would type in the password for each of us. But even though she had us all cover our eyes and turn around while typing the password, I still heard how many keys she pressed, 6. The username was literally just the school email. And I managed to guess that the password was just as simple, the school name. I'm pretty sure it was all lowercase, too. I felt like a goddamn computer genius when I typed the incredibly simple username/password into BrainPop. I felt like I'd discovered Pompeii, or the teacher's lounge. I must have watched damn near every motherfucking BrainPop. Or it must have been something close, because for the rest of middle school I never saw a single BrainPop in class that I was unfamiliar with. I felt the smuggest sense of satisfaction to know that the password never changed, even after I moved to a new school district. I never told anyone about my illegal BrainPop activities, not even my best friend. Story 9. I lied about going to college to those close to me. PLS don't post this anywhere else, ESP TikTok. Not that I'm expecting this to get attention, but still. I, current 24F, was going to a community college with a degree in math and minor in sociology. I was there for about 3 years and it was English 101. I could not pass this class for the life of me. It was part of my GE courses and I needed to pass this class in order to advance. This class as well as Calculus 1. I had a horrible time being able to focus on doing HW and studying, so that's what affected me a lot. My parents were very strict and always asked to see my grades, so I was able to finesse since they didn't know I could see them in real time, so I would print out an edited version. It started W English and I did try to keep taking it, but the max is 3 times before you're not allowed to take it there anymore. I even applied to a different college in secret and took this class another 3 times, no luck. I'm just awful at sticking to due dates and would become too anxious when the classwork added up. I would either drop or take the fail. Again, completely my fault. The thing is that, I did reach a point W my other classes to where I was close to graduating. I applied for that knowing I still had to meet the GE requirements of my degree, which I still think is BS. Everyone in HS makes it seem like you'll get to pick the classes you want. No other classes, so big BS on that. Like I said, I was still trying to pass English at the minimum, but OFC, I did not reach this goal. Luckily for me, COVID hit. The graduations were all over the place, so I was able to lie to my family and say I didn't want to go. My mom, and kinda my dad, knew that I loathed school, but I was too deep to quit now, which was semi-true, so they allowed this. However, the plan was that, once I graduated from this community college, I was going to transfer to a university and get my master's, since I originally wanted to be a college professor. Which is where the bigger part of the lie comes in. I told my parents I was accepted, without them asking for more evidence. Again, COVID hitting played a great advantage for me since everything was off. I lied to them for a semester and I hate that I will never be able to confess to it. I don't think my parents would ever forgive me, and I would probably fall so hard since, yes OFC, I live for their approval. My dad would drop me off every day at the school and I'd just sit outside for hours wandering the campus. I had no plan on what I was going to do. The thing is, my parents were extremely strict. I was 22 when this happened and I was constantly fighting my parents. Our relationship was not good even before this lie, so I was planning on just up and leaving when I had the chance. So the chance came and I left. No explanation, just disappeared. The situation worked out very well for me. It's been a while since leaving and I'm okay my family now. I was able to tell them I quit school so the lie wouldn't continue. They do try to encourage me to go back, but I always tell them that I hate school and it's not something I can focus on RN. Which isn't a lie. I really only went to school BC, it's what they wanted. The thing is that I feel so guilty for it. I told so many close people to me that I was going to school and quit, so now it's a secretly sensitive topic for me. It was selfish and I'm not looking for people to make me feel better for it. I just really needed to say it somewhere. As a final statement, that I was completely in the wrong for this. Story 10. I stole money from my mother and from other people. When I was a kid I used to steal money from my mother's pocketbook to buy candy or baseball cards, maybe a comic book. I'd also check the pockets of coats that were hanging in the closet whether at home or wherever I went. Sometimes I was caught and other times I got away with it, but in the end I really got away with nothing. Story 11. A bad habit of stealing food and one-time drugs from my housemates. Okay, so, I feel really bad because last night I felt really shit and wanted to feel high but had no money and no drugs. I knew that an housemate, who is on vacation of mine had cocaine, so I messaged him, hey, do you maybe have some weed I could borrow, knowing that was in his room, so that I could take his key and go in his room to actually go and search for the cocaine. He said yes to the weed but did not know anything about the coke. So I went into his room, trying to feel less bad because he said yes to the weed, and searched for the cocaine, found it and took it. Also at some time I felt like I was panicking, and that I would die in total. I took 0.70 mg over the night, but after 2 big bumps my heart started racing like crazy and I almost felt like calling the alarm number. And I feel super bad now and don't know what to do. Last period I already feel super shit/depressed. And I want to get out of it, but I'm also creating more and more bad habits. Because in the past, when I was hungry and had no money, because of my own actions, I went on to search in the caskets of my housemates to also steal some cookies/food. It was small but still it felt and feels bad and I feel dirty because of it, but in that and this moments I sometimes felt like I had no choice because I was hungry. About the taking cocaine part from a housemate I just felt shit and was like fuck everybody including my own morals. Now I don't know what to do next. Share it with him, but I also don't want that everyone thinks I am a thief. On the other hand then maybe I am and have to face my consequences. In general I feel bad about and don't want to be like this anymore, so I'm asking your options also on this for my next step. I haven't therapist by the way, but this what happens with the coke I feel extremely bad about, I could not discuss with my therapist yet. Thanks for reading this far. XK. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.